because you're going to break it. And then we got to go say bye-bye to everybody.
All right. All right. So let's get started. Oh, March 11th already. Holy cow. The year's already flying by. I feel like it was just January and it's already March. Okay. So welcome to our Get Fit Crew call. I'd love to see the kiddos.
Hi.
Hi, Lucy. Good morning. Do you want to run the call for me so I don't have to talk? She's like, I'm not sure. Good morning, Christina. Perfect timing. We were just getting started. Okay, so this morning I didn't do any slides, not because I was lazy or didn't have time. I didn't do slides because I felt we didn't need them as a team. I felt we just needed like a little powwow, a little chat. I don't have any paper in front of me. I'm just kind of talking from the heart of the topic that I wanted to talk about, which was taking action. I myself fall into the trap sometimes of saying the things that I know I need to do or saying the things that I want to do, and then I don't do them. And then I wonder why nothing changes or nothing happens. And not even business aspect. It can be something with my relationship with Alex, or was that funny? Oh, she thinks it's what Owen's doing. So it could be anything, but I find a lot of times I hear the same things over and over from top coaches of the big difference between the people that are successful and the people that stay where they're at is action. I'm taking action. That one simple thing of taking action. The same thing that we tell our challengers, right? Like if they want to change and they want to lose weight or whatever change they want to see, you can't just say, this is the change I want. You have to take action. You have to do something, whether it's, get started on the containers, press play, get into my free group. You have to do something. You can't just tell me I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, just saying it isn't going to make the weight fall off. You have to take action. You have to do something. And that's the same thing in this business. Like we can't just say, I want to be so many stars or I want the financial. See, I look at the business differently. I don't go after the title. I go after the financial difference that I want. I told myself that this year I want to at least double my income. So I'm looking at the financial. If the stars come with it, the stars come with it. I want the financial side of the business. I don't care if I have the title of 15 star. Are some of the titles good? Yeah, because when you get to Summit, you get to sit down on the floor. You don't have to sit up in the stands. You get to walk. You get to do different things, which are all great. And if you focus on, like I'm focusing on the financial, the title will come with it. It's kind of, they go together. So you have to focus on one thing. Just like we tell our challengers. I tell a lot of my challengers, don't focus on the number that you want to lose. Focus on the steps you need to get there. So I'm focusing on the financials and the different things I want to get. The other stuff will come. But I see it a lot, and not just on our team, just other coaches. I work with other coaches that are on other teams. I work with other coaches that are on the Fit Fam that reach out to me and stuff like that. And I see it with a lot of people, entrepreneurs in any business. They will always say what they want or say where they want to go with their business, making the goals or dreams or whatever you may want to call it. But then you don't see them take any steps to get where they want to be. It's like, okay, so you just talking to talk, or is it something you really want to do? So this was something that I actually talked about this live on my like page, one of my live lunch things about taking action with things that you want. If you want something different, you have to be the one to change it. Somebody can't change it for you. Somebody can't do it for you. If I could, I'd come to your house and I'd do your work for you. But we can't. All I can do as your upline or your upline can do is to give you the tools. And like for me, I like to show you guys what I've done that was successful, because I have failed a lot in this business. I've been doing it, June will be 4 years, but I've honestly been like really working my business like hard, wanting to build it for the last 2 years. The first 2 years were kind of a fluke because I didn't have an upline. I mean, I did, but I really didn't. On paper I did, but so I was kind of trying to learn things on my own and figure it out. So until a couple years ago, that's when I really started working, because I was like, this is what I want. I got to figure out how to make it work. So I reached out to other people to mentor me. and not wait for my upline or not use my upline as an excuse as to why my business is going nowhere. You know, I wasn't a surprise at the actions of my upline. So I should have already expected that and planned accordingly. But I guess even though I was saying, yep, I want this as a business, I don't think at the first 2 years I was really ready to make all the sacrifices to make it my business. Does that make sense? Like I wasn't ready to sacrifice time with Alex or time with the kids or anything like that. Now I've just found ways to make it work to where I have to sacrifice a little, but I don't have to sacrifice a lot. Like Alex is gone today. So after the call, I'm going to sit down and get my power hour done before I even work out, before the kids get up. Because if they get up, they'll work out with me. It's just dancing. They've been doing Just Dance with me for like a week now. So they should be able to do it with me. So now I do different things, but it's all in taking the action. And sometimes we have to take a step back in order to take the action. You have to take a step back and kind of be like an outsider looking in. It's very hard to do, to see what we're not doing. I had to do that not too long ago. I just felt like, what is going on? Like, I felt like, you know, my challengers were quiet. The team was quiet. Like, am I supposed to do this? Is this, am I a good leader? Like questioning all these things. And then I really had to take a step back and look as like an outsider in and try to figure out what might be missing. Am I taking action in the wrong places? Because sometimes your actions could be wasted actions, you know, especially when you're trying to grow a team. So you always want to reevaluate yourself and make sure that if you are taking action, it's doing the right things. It's not time-wasted action. It's action that's going to actually, God bless you, it's action that's going to actually get you somewhere. You don't want to waste your time because your time is valuable. We have families, we have children, you know, fur babies, whatever it may be, but we do have other things that we want to do. So we don't want to waste our time with anything. So it's just very, very important that we push ourselves to take that action. Sometimes the action might be scary. It might be way out of your comfort zone. But if you don't do it, nothing will change. If you only say what you want and don't take action, I don't know if you guys were raised like me, but I was raised that actions speak louder than words. So, I mean, if you tell me, I want to do this, I want this, I want this, I want this, but then you don't act accordingly to get those things, then I just feel that maybe you don't want that. So you really have to make sure, you know, I mean, I grew up on that saying. It was actions speak louder than words. Children are to be seen and not heard, you know, all those same things. And so I've always watched people's actions. I mean, that's how I was in, you know, relationships. You don't act like you love me. You could tell me you love me till you're blue in the face. I don't freaking believe you. You know, for me, it's the actions. So, but sometimes the actions are the hard part, like I said, because a lot of times it's out of your comfort zone. You have to take the actions. Like, I want to get more involved locally. So I had to jump out of my comfort zone and play a kickball game. I didn't remember how to play kickball. I mean, I was so nervous that my heart rate was like 170 and I hadn't even run, walked, or kicked a ball yet. You know, because I was nervous for a kickball tournament because I was just like, oh my God, these people are counting on me to be good. And because I do fitness, but I don't remember how to play kickball. I don't remember what to do, you know, but I had to step out of my comfort zone, you know, and stepping out of my comfort zone to become a country heat instructor at the end of this month. As extroverted as I am, that's scary. I'm nervous. Like you know, what if I forget the steps when I'm teaching the class? What if I forget to tell them what step's next? What if I do the wrong step and someone in class is like, wait, I thought it was this step. You know what I mean? Like I still have comfort zones that I have to go into and step into and over, and it never changes. No matter where you are in your business, no matter where you are in life, you are always going to have comfort zones that you are going to be afraid to step into. But I know that stepping into them is where you find the success. So I know I have to push myself to step into those uncomfortable situations, like running Super Saturdays. How freaking uncomfortable was that for me, talking in front of these people about, different levels of Beachbody and how to get this and the whole PowerPoint presentation. And, but after the first one, it felt a little more comfortable, and then it got a little more comfortable. And now I don't worry about it at all. I don't even prepare for it. They send me the PowerPoint. I kind of just click through and delete the ones that I know aren't for the people that are going to be at mine, because I don't have a lot of people. And that's it. But I remember the first time I prepared, I wrote little note cards for each slide because I wasn't sure what I was going to say. And, so once you get into that comfort zone, work in there for a while, it's no longer not your comfort zone. Now it's a comfortable place, and you have a new uncomfortable part, So you always have to push yourself to go through those uncomfortable things, those things that make you so scared, because the things that make you so scared that it makes your heart rate go up to 170 something. Those are the things that you should be doing. Your heart rate should always feel like it's pounding out of your chest when you're doing something for your life or for your business, because then that means you're doing something that's going to get you that change. It's going to get you somewhere different than where you are now. If you just stay in your comfort area and you just stay status quo in what you're doing, then that's just where you're going to stay. Nothing's going to change. Everything's just going to stay as is. Maybe a few things might get a teeny bit better, but nothing's going to dramatically change. If you're looking for that dramatic change, you want to double your income, you want to go up in rank, whatever it may be, the change has to start with us. We can't expect other people to change for us. We can't expect other people to do it for us. We can have accountability partners, but we have to remember our accountability partners are also trying to run their business. So we can't have them carry us, because we should be carrying each other. So if you have an accountability partner, you're there to carry them when they need it, and they're there to carry you when you need it. They're there to give the tough love. You're there to give the tough love and hold each other accountable. You're not there to do the work for them or for them to do the work for you. You're just there to help each other through it. So if you're running a group together and you see one person kind of falling off, you kind of say, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? Type thing. So you just need to make sure that you take the action. Staying in your comfort zone isn't going to get you anywhere different. It's just going to keep you comfortable. And you have to learn to love the uncomfortable. You have to learn to go for that uncomfortable area. That is one thing that I have been pushing myself to do a little more of. Like I told you guys, I want to do more things locally. That's why I wanted to do the country heat and the kickball tournament and going and meet more local people face to face and things like that. That's uncomfortable for me. Not the meeting face to face, but I couldn't remember kickball and the same thing. And I was a dance teacher, but that was a long time ago. So I get nervous, and then your nerves get the best of you and you might forget things, but I have to go in it with, okay, I got this. I could do this. I was a dance teacher for years, still nerve-wracking though. So taking action is the most important thing, you guys. You can have dream boards all over your wall, all over your phone, all over your computer. But if you don't take action towards those dreams, they never become a reality. Then they're not a goal. It's just a dream on a piece of paper. It's not something that's going to end up happening if you're not taking those actions. Lucy looks like she's getting her work done while we're on our call. I'll look at her with her phone. She looks like she's working.
Power hour.
Huh?
She's doing her power hour.
Exactly. So it's very, very important, you guys, to make sure that we get that in, because like I said, unless you take action, a dream just stays a dream. It just stays something that I wish I could. It's not, it never becomes a reality, and it doesn't become something that you're working towards. It doesn't become a destination if you're not walking towards it. And in order to walk towards it, you have to take the action to get yourself towards it. You can't just put it, it's not a magic piece of paper and anything you write on there just comes true because, someone's going to hand it to you on a silver platter.
That would be awesome.
Some people get that. Some people do get things handed to them on a silver platter. But most of the time, you have to put the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears. You got to put it in. You got to sacrifice, I sacrificed the beginning of my business Saturdays and Sundays. I would wake up extra early before we had our calls on Saturdays. I would wake up before anybody else. I did not sleep in. Did I want to sleep in? Yes. Did I get pissed off I couldn't and everybody else in the world sleeps in? Yes. But I want my business to go somewhere. So I was like, okay, that's where I had the most of my time. I'm going to get up an hour earlier than what I would normally get up, do work, and I'm just going to keep working until someone wakes up in the house or until I have to wake someone up. So Whitney got younger. Morning. So I just wanted to tell you guys that message, just to make sure that everybody is really, your actions need to reflect what you want. Just like in a relationship, your actions should reflect how much you love that person. You know, if you're making them their food, taking care of them, doing their laundry, spending quality time with them, those actions are a reflection of what you're feeling and what you want. You want a happy relationship. So it needs to be the same thing with your business. You want a happy relationship with your business. So you need to take the actions to make that a happy relationship. If you're not taking the actions to make it a happy relationship, you're not going to be in love with your business. It's going to feel more like a chore than something you enjoy doing. If you're not all in and you're not doing what you should be doing every single day, every day. There's only one day a week now, because I finally got my business to the point that I could tell myself one day a week that I do not open my Teamsy. I will answer messages. I'll clear out Facebook notifications and things like that. But on Sundays, I don't open up my Teamsy system, my follow-up system. So I consider that that is my non-work day, even though it really isn't a non-work day, because I'll still do Facebook and messages if people message me or if I have to answer messages. But I don't go into Teamsy and sit down and do hours worth of work. I will still read and do those things. Like the vital behaviors I do every single day, regardless. That's just become my life, doing the 4 vital behaviors. But I don't go into my follow-up system. That's the only day. But that's just been recent, you know, that I decided to not do Sundays and to give myself that one day where I'm not sitting down looking into my follow-up system and things like that. But at the beginning, you got to do it each day. If you want to get somewhere, you have to sacrifice. I mean, these top coaches did not become top coaches without sacrificing. Some of them don't even watch TV because they want this business so bad. They don't want to waste 20 minutes watching a TV show. They want to work that extra 20 minutes on their business. Some of them, they work at night when their family's sleeping. Like Scotty Hobbs, he doesn't start working till midnight, and he works from like 12 to 3. And then he goes to bed at 3 o'clock. Because he doesn't want to take away from his family. He's always worked like that. And he's been very adamant that that's when his messages will get answered. You can send him a message and he will not respond until the next day or the day after, because he does his messages. He goes into his messages once. He doesn't waste time that the second someone messages him, he's responding back like, oh, I got to hurry up and respond back. I used to be like that. And me and him had a call, and he was like, don't do that anymore. You have business hours. You need to run it like a business. You have business hours. Work within your business hours. Don't work 24/7. You will get burnt out. Work within your business hours. So I have my business hours. And I work until I get the kids. Then it's my time with them. And whether it's we're watching a video or whatever we might be doing, and I might be writing in my planner, but I'm not answering messages or anything like that. And then around 8 o'clock, when everybody's showering and getting ready for bed and lunches have been made, that's when I clear out my messages from that day. So the next morning, I don't have like 50 messages to start with. I just clear them out and answer everybody. That's why I always tell you guys on the team, if you need me, text me, because I don't look at my messenger all the time. I don't even have my notifications on my phone on Messenger. So I don't know messages come in until it's time for me to go into my messenger and answer messages. I don't look at it, because then I will get sucked in because I want to help people and answer them. And then that's when I start to feel like my cup is being completely emptied and I need to keep my cup full. So I have my thing a certain way. That's why I always tell you guys, just text me. But I want to take a moment and I want to open the call for anybody else that wants to chime in on this topic, or might have a different topic that they might want to talk about a little bit that has to do with the business, or if anybody's feeling like their cup is too empty, or anything like that. I want to talk about that. I want to get this team back to how excited we used to be for these calls, and how excited we used to be for trips, and how excited we used to be for any event. Like I stopped doing the monthly meetups for the locals because it ended up just being me and Alex most of the time, you know? So I don't need to schedule that. I see him every day. So, I want this team. I feel like the team kind of like I felt like we were losing our team bonding that we had for so long. And I don't know why that happened, but I would like to have that back with all of us. So I want to open it up to anybody that wants to talk about anything.
I'll say something if you want.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody personally, but I can just speak from personal experience that I feel as if, and this is going to sound so crazy, but I feel as if when I don't want to say our why, because I don't even think it's our why anymore. I feel like when you forget the purpose of this, that's when it becomes this chore. Because a lot of times that's why I like talking to new people. Because like I'm talking to this girl that I've been telling Tanya this, but I've been talking to this girl that she wants to lose a significant amount of weight. She's set this huge goal, and she's local to me, and I'm like, let's meet up. You know, it's easier and more natural to talk to somebody that you're unfamiliar with if you have the opportunity to just sit and act like a normal person. So you kind of organically converse. And I told her the other day, because every time I would say, let's meet up, she'd be like, yes, yes, yes. And that day would come and she'd be like, I'm stuck at work. I can't make it. And then I'd say, okay, so give me a call. Okay, what's your phone number? And I'd set up a time, and I'd give her my phone number. And like a few minutes before, which means she's been thinking about it and the gears have been turning, like a few minutes before, she'd tell me that there was something that would prevent her from making it. So finally, I sent her this unsolicited message that I kind of wanted to talk her off the ledge, kind of. And I was like, look, you put this big, huge goal out into the world. And that big, big, huge goal is like, let's say it's 10 miles away, but you're not going to get 10 miles from here unless you get in the car. And I think that kind of like eased up a little bit her fears and her hesitation, because I said to her, if you thought about the fact that you have to be 10 miles away and there was no way to get there, then it gives you anxiety of, holy shit, how am I going to get 10 miles from here? When you realize that you can look out the window and there's a car that's got a full tank of gas and you have the keys, then it's not so huge. Now, you're not going to get in the car like Tanya said about writing the goals on the piece of paper. You're not going to get in the car and turn it on and appear 10 miles from here. You actually got to, excuse my French, you got to fucking drive, right? You got to drive. Could you take the long road? Yeah. Could you take the short road? Yeah. There's a million different ways to get to your destination. But the one consistent thing is you gotta get in the car. So if you guys are leaning against the car, looking at the car, that's not getting in the car. Your car's still there. And what is your car? Your car is our training sessions, our calls, your upline, your teammates, your accountability partners. I could go on and on for days. Your accessibility to YouTube channels. If you feel like you can't get fired up, listen to Miguel Carrasco. That dude will make you feel like you need to take a chill pill, because he literally eyes bug out. He gets you to where you start tearing up. And he takes it to another level. The first one I ever listened outside of him speaking at Summit was him saying that God put this into your heart. And I don't know if everybody's religious. I don't know. I tend to find that people that are dedicating ourselves to this business, whether it's a religious aspect or a spiritual aspect, there's always this bigger thing. So he's like, you have this calling. And you have to realize that this calling wasn't put into everybody's heart. And if it was put into your heart, you need to take responsibility for it, or don't listen to it, because you can't have it both ways. And for the longest time, I've been talking to Tanya about how I feel like shit, how not that I don't want to do this, because my life dream is to be Lindsay frickin' Matway. I mean, come on. But there were so many doubts in my head, and it was all me saying to myself, how can I avoid doing the inevitable? If I'm not going to get in my car, I'm not getting nowhere. Not only am I not getting 10 miles away, I am not even going to get a mile away. I'm not going to get 2 blocks away. So, you got to figure out, do you want to go to this place? Because if you don't want to go to this place, nobody's going to fault you for it. Not everybody wants to go there. But be realistic with yourself, because if you don't want to do this and you don't want to be here, then don't beat yourself up. Just accept it and move on, because there's no reason not to live a happy life. And if Beachbody doesn't make you happy, and if this stuff doesn't make you happy, find your happiness somewhere. Because thank you, Owen. He turned off my mic.
He's like, and you're done.
Exactly. My mic dropped. I'm going to be 40 years old. I need to make a decision of what is going to make me happy, because I'm not going to live another 40 years trying to find myself. Who are we fucking kidding here?
Right.
So that's
I love that car analogy, because if,
I like that.
Or you might get in the car, but you got to press the right pedal. You got to put the pedal on the right side, not the left side.
Right.
So I really, really like that car analogy. And it's so true. Like, if you don't get yourself moving, nobody can. No one can force you. Nobody, we could just support you. We could be behind you. We can carry you when you need.
Trying to force it.
Nope.
This is not a negative thing.
No.
It's not for everybody, like I said. And
right.
It's definitely not negative.
No, it's not. This is my second time around. I was a coach before.
This is I don't know. I have never canceled, but it's like my second round. It's like my 7th round. I mean, who are we kidding?
Yeah. I canceled it because, I didn't want the shakes coming out monthly and all of that stuff. And then I was just, the second time around, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get into it and I'm going to build that business. So I never have to worry about not financially being able to take care of my family again. I was left with no money and 2 kids. And I was like, I'm not going to be in that situation again, ever.
If you love Beachbody, but you don't love the business, be honest with yourself. Become a discount coach, because don't make Beachbody the enemy. Beachbody is helping us.
Right. Yep. That's very true. There's nothing wrong with that. And nobody lets anybody down. Like, me and Tara were talking about this on our call yesterday. Like, for me, when I look at all you guys' faces, I don't see business. I don't see dollar signs. I don't see rank advancement for myself. I see my extended family that, thanks to Beachbody, has brought to me. Like, there are sometimes Tara and I will do our call and we've been on the phone for 45 minutes and we're like, oh my God, we haven't even talked about business yet.
Yeah, our call yesterday was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. We were trying to find places to stay when we go to New Orleans and trying to get all that stuff organized for the team and stuff like that. So, sometimes I even forget that the call that we're doing is for work. You know what I mean? Because when I see you guys, I see, my friend's calling. Oh, let's chit chat. Let's catch up. How's your week been? And before you know, we're on the phone forever. It's the same thing when Rocky and I get on our calls too sometimes. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, well, wait, how's your like page going? And at the end, I'm like, wait, I forgot to ask you about business stuff. Don't hang up yet. Same thing with when I do my call with Natalie and stuff like that. It's the same thing. We end up talking about other stuff first, and then we'll remember, oh, wait, this was a business call that we set up,
Yeah. And I look at when I feel down, because all of these thoughts that I just verbally vomited all over you people came from a my call to action that Tanya gave me 2 weeks ago was basically, do a gut check. And I've been told to do gut checks before, and I've kind of half-assed did them, and this time I really did them, and these are the things that I came up with. And some of them I came up with myself, but some of them came out of looking at success. I look at Tanya, I look at Christina, I look at Natalie, and I look at them and I see how fulfilled they are. I don't know what's going on in their back office. I see what they put out there and it makes me smile, and I'm tired of not fucking smiling anymore. It's not worth it. Like, seriously, it is not worth it. I have 2 beautiful children. I have a husband that would literally stand on his head for me. And all I do is piss pant all the fucking time. Why? Because I have no money? Oh, shit. Maybe I should do a fucking business that's going to pay me. Duh. It doesn't make sense anymore, So my gut check, and then from the gut check I started watching Miguel, and from Miguel I started reading more personal development, and look, it's snowballing. Is my business any different as far as my back office? Nope, not at all. But you know what? I saw that Tanya and Christina decided to do that 30-day BOD free group, and I grabbed Amy and I said, Amy, you and I both feel like shit. Let's make each other feel better. Let's run this group. It's a great idea. We don't have to do 95 coaches and all one thing because it's a free group. So it's me and you, whatever. And in 2 days, I got 11 challengers.
That's awesome.
I don't think I got 11 challengers in all of the free groups I've ever run combined.
I was just going to say, I don't remember the last time you told me that you got that many challengers.
I made a post of something that made sense to me. It made sense to me. I'm tired of feeling like crap. I'm tired of setting these goals that I can't attain. I'm tired of throwing good money away from bad. Here's the solution. I gave it to myself. I put it out there to the world. And I'm literally going alphabetically through my Facebook friends, which is also gives me a chance to unfriend a bunch of people that I'm I have no fucking interest in them. I drop a lot of F-bombs. Sorry, Nat. But, it got me to a point. I don't think I'm going to be 15 star tomorrow, but I'm going to wake up a little less frustrated. That's for sure. So
awesome. That's something that I got from Mike Greenberg, was to watch one YouTube video from a top coach or something like that, whether it just was a motivational video, some sort of a training video. So I always went back and forth between 2 people, sometimes 3. Every once in a while I throw Lindsay Matway in there, but I can't watch her that much. It would be Scotty Hobbs or Miguel. Miguel, actually, in that time frame when I was watching his videos, he did a video on how to run page ads on your Facebook. I watched that video and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. And I went step by step. I would watch his video. I'd pause it. I'd do the step he would say to do, and then I'd go to the next step. And that's how I grew my page the very first time. And that's how my page has grown so much. I don't even remember, 5,000 people on there or something. But that's how I grew it, by watching his videos and taking action on what he said he did to grow his page. You can't just read this personal development, and you can't just watch a training video and then say, oh, well, that was really good. Okay, I'm going to go do my workout now. And you don't implement anything and you don't take action on anything. Well, then you just wasted your 20 minutes of reading, or you wasted the 3 minutes or 8 minutes of watching that video. You have to be intentional. If you're going to watch a video, if there's something that you can implement to make that change, you have to be intentional about it. You have to take action and make that change. If you want to. If you don't, that's okay. But if you want to grow this business, which I think every person on this call wants to grow this business, because who else would wake up this early on a Saturday morning and get on a call if you did not want to grow this business?
I psycho children, that's why I get up every morning.
So you have to be intentional with your actions. You have to do the actions that you know are going to get you to your destination. Like Tara was saying with the car. If you're going to go to the grocery store, you are intentionally getting in the car with your wallet. You have your keys. You're going to turn the car on and you're going to step on the gas. You're not just going to sit in the car and wait for somebody else to drive it for you. You're going to drive yourself to the grocery store. You're going to intentionally do the action you need to do to get yourself there. It has to be the same way in life and in your business. You have to do intentional actions to get yourself to where you want to go. Does anybody else want to talk about anything? Or have any questions with anything? Like, do you feel like you are taking action on something and you feel like your tires are just in mud and you're just spinning your wheels?
Hi. Hey guys. I just kind of wanted to reiterate what Tanya was saying about the whole going out of the comfort zone, because I feel like March I've been living out of my comfort zone. And it started kind of with that team call, which woke me up when I had to speak, and I made the commitment to talk and I couldn't back out of it. And like, even when I got sick, there was like that little inkling, like, oh, like I even texted Tanya. I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling good. Maybe I'll get my husband to do the call for me. You know, so like, even like that, I went through a rut, not really like with myself, because I never lost the motivation for myself to work out or drink my shakes. Like for me, I was good. Like I had that motivation for myself. But I just lost that kind of motivation as far as like working the business. But I love what Tara said, because I kind of did my own gut check and I realized, well, it wasn't going anywhere because I really wasn't, I was posting and stuff, but I wasn't really inviting, you know, like I wasn't really, doing any, like going out of my comfort zone to invite. Because for me, inviting is the hardest part. But, since the team call, like I called someone I had never met before, which to me is like a big deal. My father-in-law gave me a lead through somebody at work, and I literally gave myself a pep talk before picking up the phone, because that's just, uncomfortable for me. I did a live Facebook video, which I hate. I hate talking live. So I drank my Energize and literally did it. And, everything from my posts, like to posting pictures of my stomach, like, which I've never done before. Because in my mind, I was always like, well, who's going to want to take fitness advice or like nutrition advice from me, when I don't really have that look to me of somebody that could give that type of advice. But I've gone out of this, like whole comfort zone. And when I talked to Tanya, and I'm like, let's just do, and Natalie had that idea of the group. I was like, that's amazing. Let's just do the group. I don't know why I've never thought of that before. And like I asked Tanya, I'm like, let's do it together. And even the first day I invited like 10 people. And like I said, I had no responses, not even one. And then I was like, okay, the next day I did it again. And I think I've gotten like 7 people to join me, which for me is huge, because as Tara said, before I've done the water groups, I've done this, I haven't really had a response, but I reached out to people that I've kind of like had that relationship for forever. The people are like, oh, you're doing great, or, oh, maybe I'm not ready. And then when you offer them the free opportunity, it's kind of like, oh, free, you're speaking my language. And that's like literally what I got one day. Free, oh, that's perfect. So, it kind of gives you that motivation to keep going. And I even texted Tanya the first day. I'm like, oh my God, I got 3 people. Oh my God, I got 4. Like I was literally sitting on the couch with my husband and I'm like, 5, I have 5, I'm like, and for me, that's huge. Like what I love about this team is we're all at different points. Like Natalie, you inspire me so much also, like everybody, we're all at different points in this business. And so, it's just for me to get even 5 people was like, I was so excited. I told my husband, like, oh man, but Tanya's got like 20 people in the group. He's like, at least you don't have 0. I'm like, that's true. So it's for me, it was kind of like that wake up call. And even when Tanya put that post out there saying she was struggling, I'm like, man, if Tanya's struggling, it just proves that it's just a continuous journey, and I even posted, I don't know if Tanya saw it because she didn't comment, but with the country heat, I haven't registered for it, but I said I was going to do it. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, that's like something that I'm like, another thing out of my comfort zone. So it's just, even my heart pounding talking right now. I was like, so it's like little things like that, but it is true. You do have to live out of the comfort zone to achieve like what you want. Very true. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Also, but Tara, I loved your realness, Tara, because I've had so many like gut checks like that too. And it's true. And even people are watching, like so many times, even when I've messaged people and, even when they say no, like, they're just like, you're so inspiring. You keep me going. And in my head, I'm like, really? Like even for Tara to call me out and say like my post, I'm like, really? Me? So you don't realize it, but like people are watching you, you know. So I mean, I was one of those people that I watched for 2 years, and you know, before finally deciding to make that commitment. So yeah.
I didn't see that comment, but I was planning on going
to
see if you commented, because I'm like, no, you're not leaving me there by myself. In all honesty, even if you end up just doing the training and you don't go and do Country Heat Live somewhere,
right.
It's just stepping out of your comfort zone and spending a day. I never taught size, but I went and did the size instructor class. I never taught it anywhere, because to me, size would be a little bit harder to teach, because people have to learn an entire dance and you have to remember every step of that whole dance. At least with Country Heat, you just have to remember 2 steps and then you could forget about them.
Yeah, but what happened, Tanya? You met Tanya that works with
exactly,
Sean, and now she knows you.
Yeah, we actually still message on Facebook.
You know?
Yeah, and that was somebody that since T25, because T25 is what got me wedding ready when me and Alex got married. So, and the whole time I was like, oh, I would love to meet her. How cool is that? We have the same name. Well, come to find out, she knows a really close friend of mine that I danced with when I was younger. They danced together. So we sat and talked for like 3 hours straight during our break in between us doing the size instructor class. So, and I met Nancy, who's doing the Country Heat class. And I met some of like the Diesel Nation coaches, because the size instructor class was in Miami. So a lot of them were there. So you get to meet other people. So it's a networking day also. Even though they're coaches and stuff like that, you still get to meet them. You get to kind of pick their brain on things, and you guys just talk about stuff when there's a break. So just the whole day, it's just fun. You just get to dance all day with a bunch of people. If you do nothing with it, it's like as if you went to Summit and just did workouts all day. You know what I mean?
Realize that those people are human beings like we are.
Yeah.
And go through the same stuff.
It takes the starstruck out of it. You know, it doesn't, then you don't get so starstruck all the time.
That happened with me and Christina Delgado. Because I don't know what it was. It was, I don't know. I was watching one of her videos, and I like off the cuff, like, you know, commented on it, and she IM'd me back, and I was like, it's just Christina Delgado talking to me. Like, to my husband that's sitting here, Christina Delgado is nobody. But
right.
To Beachbody, that's a huge deal, you know? But I want to go back real quick to what Christina said about people watching. There's this girl that I met on Facebook, and she's always like, I want to get my mom into drinking Shakeology. She just had a baby, so she's getting ready to get back on her journey. But she said that her mom called her one day. I don't know this girl personally, so obviously I don't know her mom. Her mom, seriously, I think she's like 75. Her mom called her one day and was like, you know, I have seen videos from that Tara girl that we always watch. Like, you should check in on her and see what's going on. So I got a message, like I got cold called. One of these people that I never even know, like I knew that she watched, because every time I would touch base with her, we would converse with some familiarity. But for her mom to call her from another place to be like, I was just thinking about this, goes to show that you don't know who the hell is watching you.
And they're watching, whether they're commenting, whether they're liking. That's why I always tell you guys, don't get discouraged if you post something, nobody likes it or comments. They're seeing it.
I'm seeing it. Girl right now that's supposed to sign up. She has never once liked anything, nothing, absolutely nothing I've ever done. And she's like, I'm watching you, and she's gonna order, but it's just, yeah.
They're like flies on walls.
Watching you, did you feel a little creeped out?
Yeah, I'm watching you. Yeah, they're watching, and and I know, trust me, I know personally, it is hard to not get discouraged. It is hard to not let it get to you. I get discouraged. I question myself. Am I really on the right path? Am I a good enough leader? Like when I felt like our team was falling apart, I'm like, do I suck as a leader? Like, I don't understand what's going on. We all seem so close, and now I feel like we're all so far away. But it's hard to not be in a personal place with the feelings with this business. This business is a relationship business. You're building relationships, and you have to continue to keep building. You don't just build until they buy a challenge pack and then you stop building the relationship. It's a constant build of relationship. We all try to build one spousal relationship, And that's hard. And here we are trying to build hundreds of relationships at the same time. So it can get overwhelming. It can feel defeating. But that's where our personal development comes in, because we don't have to, it helps our mindset. It helps us not get defeated all the way. It helps us not. So when I'm feeling one of those really defeated days, I give myself that day, or I give myself that time, and I just tell myself, you need to dive into some personal development, and I'll listen to an audio for a little bit, and then I'll sit and I'll read. I'll go outside, sit in the lounge chair, take some me time. My favorite thing is laying out in the sun. So I'll go and lay out in the sun and I'll read to try to get my mind back, to remind myself that, you know, this is what happens. It's not anything, you know, it's just how it is, because you're building relationships.
Right. And, you know, you said something just now that struck a chord when you were like, you don't build a relationship until you sell that challenge pack. For a really long time, I'm ashamed to say that, not intentionally, but that's what I did. I would build this relationship and get involved with these people, and then they'd buy a challenge pack, or even more, they would join as a coach, and I'd be like, I'm really excited that you joined as a coach. Let's do weekly calls. And because if they didn't answer one message, I was like, well, screw you. You obviously don't want to do it. And I like got all personally offended. And then I was like, I blew them off. Well, guess what? That person sees that you haven't engaged them since they bought something, so now they feel used. So then they tell you to go fly a kite, and they cancel their coach membership. And guess what? You know what this is? That's square one.
Mm-hmm. And it's very true. If we don't continue, like in my follow-up system, when I have somebody that places an order, I follow up with them in a week, because it takes 5 to 7 days for them to get their package. So I put it in my follow-up system, follow up with them in a week to make sure they got their package. And then after that, they are a weekly follow-up, because I want to check in. Okay, how did your first week go? How did your second week go? What did you struggle with? The same thing that I do with you guys, checking in. Okay, how was your week? What did you struggle with this week, so we can work? We don't want to go over this obstacle of this struggle. We want to face the struggle. We want to figure out a solution, so that way if you struggle with it again, you know exactly what to do. I do the same thing with my challengers, but I have to say at the beginning I didn't. Those first 2 years when I was signing people, yeah, I was building a business and signing people, but I didn't understand what I should be doing. You know, I followed up with like the people that I was always close with, people that I always text with and stuff like that. And then every once in a while I'd be like, oh my God, I haven't talked to so-and-so in a while. Let me see how they're doing. And they're like, oh, I haven't done it in a while. I'm like, why? And then I'm thinking, well, that's because I haven't checked in with you. If I don't give you the accountability, you're not going to do anything. And that's what makes this coaching business difficult sometimes, is you have to find that balance. You have to know how to balance it. You're trying to balance family. You're trying to balance being a mother or a father, because we have men on this team. So you're trying to balance being a parent, being a significant other to someone else, doing your full-time job if you're working a full-time job, building your business where you're trying to get new coaches and help them build their business. And you're trying to get challengers and people that you can help, and you're trying to help them through their journey. That's a lot of stuff to put on one plate. So it's really trying to find the balance, and the balance is different for every single person. Like for me, I don't know if I've even told everybody, but I gave my notice at my 9-to-5 job. I will no longer be marketing for my mom's title company. I actually am going to be working side by side with Alex in his new truck. So I will be able to spend every day with him and have my laptop on my lap when we're driving from one mechanic shop to the other, and do my Beachbody work, and then help him build his business. So we've decided to focus on both the businesses that we're trying to build, because we have a goal that in 5 years when we move to Tennessee, that's all we want to do. And really his business is just going to be for fun, like a couple days a week. So he has something to kind of get out of the house, and Beachbody is going to be what pays for everything. So we need to focus on that now, and we need to get in the driver's seat of that shit and drive there. So that way, like I'm saying, we're trying to take action on the goal that we want. We want our goal and our dream to be our reality in 5 years. So I had to make that change. Was it scary? Hell yeah. Because I worked for my mom. I basically told my mom, sorry, 3 weeks, I'm done. You know, so that was hard to have that conversation, even though my mom and I had already talked about, she's like, I want you to focus on Beachbody. I want you to build it so you don't have to do this for me anymore. You know, she's like, so even though I knew she was okay with it, it was still very uncomfortable going into that conversation. It was still an uncomfortable situation. I had to, once again, step into an uncomfortable situation so I can jump over that uncomfortable situation to get to a successful point. And this will help me and Alex, because he likes to spend a lot of time with me. I like to spend time with him as well. But I've never been with a man that wants that much time. And so it's been hard for me to figure out how to give him that time, because I have the 2 kids who want my time. I have my 9-to-5 job that needs my time. I have my Beachbody business that I need to put my time into. So now for me, this was a great solution to all that. So when we come home at night and if the kids need my time, I don't feel inside that he's just sitting on the couch like, great, how long do I have to sit here and wait for her so we can watch our show? Because he's been with me all day. He's going to want that break when we get home. So it'll be a great way to balance it. He'll be like, peace out. See ya. I'm going on the bike. I'll be like, bye. So,
Targets in the app.
yeah, you want me to hold it for you? So it's scary, but I always find that when I step into those scary moments, that's where I find when I'm done, I'm the happiest. So it's scary to take the step towards it. It's scary when you're there at the first few minutes. But then when you're like got your groove in that uncomfortable spot, you feel lighter when you're done. You feel fulfilled, you feel accomplished, and you feel proud because you got yourself through that uncomfortable situation. At least those are my feelings through uncomfortable situations, because I've put myself in a lot over the last couple of years. And that's how I feel going into each and every one of them. That now, not only do I go for the no, and if none of you guys have listened or read that book, that is a must audiobook for every single one of you. It even changed Alex. We listened to it on the way home from Nashville from Summit last year. And he went to work that Monday going for the no. It's an amazing book. I actually re-listen to it all the time when I go for runs. It's a great book. So I not only go for the no now, I look for the uncomfortable situations to just throw myself into, because I find that that's where things are different. That's where it's almost like that's where the light is.
Yeah. And you know what, one really quick, because I know we're getting late here, but my sister has told me no forever. And one day I just reached out to her and I said, look, do you know anybody? I know you don't want to do it, but do you know anybody? And she actually gave me somebody who joins my challenge group. Turns out that she got T20. She was doing, she goes, oh, I think so-and-so is doing T25. I reached out to her anyway, and turns out she got her program off eBay. So I was like, oh my God, well, I have the perfect thing for you. So it's just, ask, even if they say no, do you know anybody who would like to? And then that can lead to something too. And half the time people are downloading these programs for free, or so even if they're doing the program, I just kind of meddle and I say, oh, are you using the online? Are you, doing this? And then half the time they got a free copy, or they're not, with the working coach, or even like me, because that was my situation. I signed up for the free online membership, but never had anybody that reached out to me. So I never knew the value of a coach. So be careful about it, but you can still kind of say, oh, are you working with somebody, or are you, because you never know. So
yep,
yeah, I always just ask, do you know anybody, that's interested? So that can help too.
Absolutely. Always ask for the referral in this business. And when you get the referrals, we actually have a coach on our team that I got from a referral from her brother, who is a Cornwell dealer like Alex in another state. She was telling him that she was going to start 21-day fix and everything else. He's like, you cannot do it without Tanya. You need to contact Tanya and do it through her. So if not from referrals, or if not giving him good service, he would have not referred me. And he even canceled his shakes. He was a discount coach under Alex for the shakes, and he even canceled his shakes and everything. So he's been inactive for a while, but I still reach out to him every couple of weeks and check on him. How are you doing? How are things going? He's working with a personal trainer face-to-face at a gym. I still check in with him every couple of weeks to see how he's doing. He actually messaged me, are you going to be in New Orleans? Can we work out together in the gym? I'm like, oh, I'm not going, but I still keep that communication. I'm not even working with him. I'm not benefiting anything from him, but it's just to still keep that line of communication, because I do want him to be healthy. So any free help I can give him, I'm willing to give him. That's why we run these free groups. That's why it's so important. You should have at least one free group a month. Just so you guys know, I do 3 1-week free groups a month, and then the paid group. So I have one ongoing free group that anytime someone joins one of my free groups, I put them in there. Minus if I run a free group like I'm running with Christina, that's just a separate group, and then I'll add them to my other group after. And each week we do something different. Like we're doing our step challenge this week. Next week we're doing a step challenge, but we're adding a water challenge on top of it. So now they'll keep counting their steps, but now they're going to make sure they drink the right amount of water. And then we do our Beachbody On Demand one, and then it's a paid group. So I run 3 small little weekly ones, like a 5-day water challenge, a 5-day ab challenge, a 5-day squat challenge, just to get them to understand what these groups are. And I don't like to call them challenge groups. I call them accountability groups because I feel sometimes the word challenge scares people off and they don't want to join because they're thinking that they're competing. Like when you hear challenge, you think it's some sort of a competition, or you think that, you have to post pictures in order to win, or whatever it may be. Like when you hear challenge, you think there's going to be a medal or an award at the end. So some people get nervous. So I just call them my accountability groups. When I post about them and stuff like that, I feel like that word is a lot easier for people because in all honesty, it is an accountability group. That's what we're doing in the group. I think the word challenge group just came because Beachbody calls them challenge packs. And I don't call them challenge packs. I call them bundles because people are used to bundles when they shop. They get a bundle deal at Walmart. They get a bundle deal at Best Buy. So
Me too.
yeah, so they're used to hearing bundle. Then they're like, okay, you're giving me a package deal. You tell them a challenge pack, they're just like, a who? What's a challenge pack? Unless they've spoken to another Beachbody coach before, then they know what a challenge pack is. So I call it a bundle, and I call them accountability groups. I find those words are a lot more comfortable for people to absorb. They understand what I'm saying. So I don't know if any of you want to take that tip and use that, see if it works for you. But I've noticed since changing just those 2 words, it's been a little more comfortable for people and easier to talk about it. But one thing I do want to say really quick on talking to people is make sure you get to know them before you're like wanting to throw them in a group. I mean, it's one thing for like if you're running a free group and you're just like, hey, I see that you're into fitness and I'm running a free ab group if you want to join. It would be fun. That's different. But when you invite them to a challenge group and they say yes, they want in, like when it's a paid challenge group, when you're selling them a challenge pack, don't right away start telling them, okay, great. So for $130 or $140, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this. You don't even know why they want to join the group. So I always ask them, I'm like, yay, I'm so excited that you want to join. I was like, okay, before we get into the meats and potatoes of what you're going to get out of the group, I would like to hear from you what your goals are. Do you have a reason why you have that goal? Like, are you having a health problem, or are you just not feeling good in your skin? And what do you need from this group? Like, what is your main thing that you need from this group? And then get their answers first. Find out exactly. You need to ask them their why. Because you need to know why they're doing it. And then, if it's, oh, well, I just went to the doctor and they just told me that if I don't lose 10 pounds, I can be in the hospital with a heart attack. Well, then there should be no price limit for you. I'm going to get you the cheapest way that you can get started, but there should still be no price objection if there's a fact that you can have a heart attack and be in the hospital. So you need to ask them questions. Don't just right away word vomit and give them all the information of what they're going to get in the challenge pack. You really, really, really need to find out from them what they need. Do they have a goal? Maybe they don't. I just want to lose some weight. Do you have a number? Do you have a time frame? Like, why? Are you going on a cruise so you want to look good in your bathing suit? Are you going to a wedding and you want to look good in a dress? Like, why do you want to lose weight? That everybody always has a reason. Do you feel you don't look sexy to your husband when you're naked? Like, what is your reason? Everyone has a reason why they want to lose weight or why they want to get started on a journey. So it's up to us to find out why they want to do that. So then that way we can help them better. And you really should always get to know somebody before you put them into a bundle, because you don't know which one's going to be best for them. I mean, I think the all access is best for everyone, but you still need to understand what they need so you can best guide them. So I just wanted to say that real quick because we had gotten on the topic of talking to people. Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to talk about or anything like that? Exactly. Not everybody knows Beachbody language. I was just reading what Tara had put, which is another reason why I changed a lot of what I say. I call it a bundle, or, I call it an accountability group, because they don't understand.
Yeah, I have a big problem with that. Not only my Beachbody business, but with my 9-to-5 job, because I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm a corporate immigration paralegal. So I get work visas for people that come to work for my company. And sometimes when I'm talking to people now, I've been doing immigration work for 13 years. right? So when I talk to people that know what I'm talking about, I use language that if somebody next to me were listening to me, they'd think I wasn't even speaking English. And you have to be careful with that. And the first person that ever brought that to my my attention was my current boss, because I have always worked in law firms, and then 3 years ago I changed jobs to then go work in the corporation where they used to be my clients. And so I was so used to talking legalese to my client that now when my clients are like the human resources people, I was still speaking that legalese to them, and my manager would hear me and she would be like, seriously, she's like, I'm going to say something to you that I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know, and I bet you're not going to know anything that I'm talking about because you are not well versed in my language. So that caused me to reevaluate how I talk to people. And that caused me a lot of anxiety because I have to give a lot of presentations at my job. And the way that I, get through the anxiety is not only simplifying the language, but I think of, all right, my meeting is at 10, and instead of feeling like I'm going to throw up at 9:45 because I have to speak to these people at 10, I'm like, they only schedule me till 10:30. So no matter how nervous I'm going to be, I only have to be that nervous for 30 minutes, and then at 10:30, I'm going to be back to normal.
Right.
And that helped me so much because I'm seeing the other side of the thing that causes the anxiety. So if fighting is what causes you anxiety, or if a live video is what causes you the anxiety, realize that it's going to be this much of your time, and then when you're done with it, you're back to normal.
Yeah,
and
you feel great for doing it too. Yep. Does anybody else have anything else before we end our call? All right, so a show of hands, who is actually going to start taking the action every day to get yourself to where you want to be? Good.
Christy, I like that always saw was your hand.
I know. She was like, and you guys can always, you guys know, my phone is always with me. Text me, call me, whatever. If you're feeling like you're having a hard time, reach out. And sometimes just talking it out or crying it out or screaming it out, ask me and Tara, we do it all the time. Then you feel better. And then you're like, okay, I can move on now. I'm done. I did what I needed to do. I can keep going. So that's what this team is for. You got to lean on us. And, we don't know that you're going through it if you don't talk to us about it and tell us that you're going through it, and be open to let us be there for you. You just got to make sure and remember that we're a family. That's how I look at us, as a family. And if my family needs me, I'm going to be there for them. What are you crying about? So I wanted to talk about that because it's a very important step in life, not even just the business. Tara, you're so funny. So it just in life in general, it's very, very important to make sure we are in the driver's seat and we have our hands on the wheel and we don't have somebody else driving us. Because not always is it going to be a good person driving us. It could be somebody that wants to see you fail. It could be somebody that doesn't want you to be successful because that's their comfort zone, is you not being successful. That's their comfort zone of you staying the same person you are. The second you become somebody better or somebody different, now you've made them get out of their comfort zone. So sometimes the person that you have driving you might not be the right person to drive you. So it's always best to drive yourself in life and take yourself where you want to go, no matter what it may be. And don't rely on other people because they might not always have the best intentions. So, all right, guys, we've gone way over our hour, but that was okay because I think this was like the best call we've had in a very, very long time. I love having these like heart to heart calls and like all of us talking and, I'm reading that now, Tara. Tara's texting me. Yeah. I think so. She texted me asking me if I found that when I married Alex, that coincided with my business working more. And it totally did. Because when I had did it before, I was going through the divorce and single mom, being the only one paying the bills, I was afraid for my shakes to come out. So I just canceled everything. Instead of postponing it, I canceled it all. And then I started back up in 2012 when Alex and I were just starting to talk, just meeting each other. And it's just funny. He showed such an interest, and he's been since day one very interested in my business and asking questions. And I would talk to him about it. Like I would tell him my goals. He was like my accountability partner. I would tell him my goals for that week with my business. And when I would hit it, like I would tell him, okay, my goal is to get to 1,000 likes on my Facebook page this week. And I would hit it. I'd take a picture and be like, oh my God, look, I got there. And he would be there for me. He'd be like, oh, that's great. I'm so proud of you. You know, so just having him as my accountability partner. And even now, he sat in the office the other night when we decided we were going to help each other build the businesses. He sat in the office and watched 3 back-to-back Team Beachbody calls. And I had put them all on our team page. One was about how you earn commission in this business. One was about rank advancement. And the other one was about like the star bonus pool. When you become a 2-star diamond, you get a quarterly bonus. I had him watch those same 3 that I uploaded in the team page so he can understand how I make my money in the business and start understanding a lot of the behind the scenes back office type stuff, because that's the kind of stuff he's going to help me with. He's going to be doing posts and stuff like that. He's going to start posting more because starting Monday, he's going to do Body Beast. So he's going to start by Wit. So he's going to start doing Body Beast. So he's going to post more for helping. But it's definitely been a big difference having the support of your spouse or your significant other in the business, them being interested in what you're doing, them supporting you, them knowing what your goals are and asking you how close are you to reaching your goal. Because then you're like, oh, he's watching. Okay, he wants me to reach my goal too. Okay, this is great. He's just as excited as I am. You know what I mean? So it really makes a big difference when you have the spousal support. Yes, it's great to have accountability with other coaches, but having the spousal support is like, to me, that's where my business really started taking off, when I had Alex, and he was very supportive in what I was doing. And he saw that there was something that I can build out of this. He would see these other top coaches and where they got, and he believed in me, and he still believes in me. Said believed like it was past tense. He believes in me and knows that I can get there. And there's days that I get down, like a couple weeks ago when I was like, oh my God, like, am I really on the right path? Like, am I a good leader? Am I a good coach? Like, am I doing the right thing? He basically smacked me around. He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, I know you can do that. You could be the next Scotty. You could be the next Miguel. You could be the next, Lindsay. You have it in you. You just have to it's a slow process. And when you build something slow, you're building a foundation. So it's something that's going to last. It's not like these other get rich quick schemes where you're just getting money really fast, but it's not going to last. You get a lot of money at the beginning and it doesn't continue. So, yeah, lots of bleach. So, just the fact that he has that belief in me pushes me even harder. So having that, the spouse or significant other, I should say, because we have guys on this team, but most of the guys, their wife is a coach. So whatever. But just having that spousal support in every step of this process, because it is not an easy process. So like I said before, as you're trying to build this relationship with your spouse on a daily basis, you're building hundreds of relationships with people you don't know. So you're starting from ground zero with them, building this relationship. It's draining and it's difficult. And if you're already feeling drained and you don't have time to refill your cup with anything, even if it's just a quiet bubble bath without kids knocking on the door screaming for mommy, if you can't refill your cup for 20 minutes, you're going to feel so drained. You're not going to have the energy to put into your relationship with your spouse. So having that support to where and the support's even changed. It's even gotten more with Alex. Like he'll come home and be like, okay, what can I do around the house to help you? Because he knows there's nothing he could do business-wise for me until I teach him the back office and how to read the report so he can write down people's Success Club points and PP points so I can do posts about it. So his first question is, okay, I'm going to change my clothes, but what can I do to help you around the house? Do I need to do dishes? Do I need to do laundry? Do have the dogs been taken care of? That just takes it off my back now of, okay, I know when he gets home, he's going to ask me. Because I've always told him, you need to ask me because I'm not your mom. I'm not going to say, hey, go do the dishes for me. I'm not that type of person or wife. So you need to, if you want to help me, you need to ask me, because then I will say, yes, I need help with X, Y, and Z. If you don't ask me, I'm not going to ask you. I'll just be Superwoman and do it all myself, because I'm just not the type of person to ask you for help. Because I feel like I have a third child if I'm asking you to help me. You should see that I need help because I'm always doing a million things, and you should just offer it if you want to. Exactly. Yep. It's the moms. We want to do everything. And so it's very hard to ask for the help. So when he says, okay, what can I help you with? I've gotten better with, okay, if you can, there's a load of laundry that needs to be folded in the dryer, cause then I don't feel bad. He's come to me and offered. So then I don't feel like I'm burdening him or making him feel obligated to help me because I asked him for help, if that makes any sense. So having that spousal support has been a big difference in me and being able to do my business. And he understands that if I pick this up, it's because I'm answering a work message, or I'll just say, I'm sorry, I just have to answer. And look, it's actually a text message from him. I'll say, I'm sorry, I actually have to, all right, Rocky, go get some rest. I'll tell him, I'm sorry, but I have to answer this message. It's somebody that I sent an order to and they're having a hard time doing the order. So our communication has gotten a little bit better, but the spousal support is a big thing. Yeah. So, So to answer your question in the long way, it has been a really big thing. And when you're the only one putting all the work in, it almost makes you feel like, what's the purpose? Why am I putting all this work in if the other person's not meeting me halfway? So yeah, spousal support's a much need, And one good thing is that Christina, Albert does it too. So he understands what she's doing when she's doing it. You know what I mean?
Just the three of us. We can take each other on.
Yeah.
Everybody was
yelling at the kids in the background, get dressed, get this, get that. Well, the funny thing is since he just started his job, I'm like, because he gets a bag of Shakeology, I do. So I'm like, take your bag to work, leave it on your desk, because now he has like a desk job. So he's had like a couple of people ask him about it. So I'm like, take this, take that, take this, take that. So
I have these and a bag of Shakeology sitting on my desk.
Yeah, but it is very true. Since he got on board with the whole, first it was the hammer and chisel program. Like once he found a program, I think that really spoke to him, because in his mind, like it was all about chicks, like it was all geared towards women.
Right.
Once the hammer and chisel came out, that's when he like fully got in and believed in it. And then when Quarter Force came out, I didn't even want to do that program. He was the one that wanted to do it. And then I was like, fine, I'll do it, And then I love it and he loves it. So it just helps that he had programs that he found. And
right.
So that's
you look awesome, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
It took Alex really 4 years to find a program.
Yeah. And it is a big difference. It's a big difference when you have their full-on support.
I'm doing the reset this time, and Alex is doing it with me. I could tell you it's way easier this time around with him. It's been difficult. In the mornings, I'm like, okay, I'm really hungry today. But it's definitely a big difference when you have them doing it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference being the workouts, drinking the shakes, that kind of stuff. And that's why it'll be a big difference for him in his business, because I'm going to be by his side all day during the day on the truck with him, helping him with his sales. So he's not going to be able to slack and be like, okay, well, no one's watching, so I'm just going to go in and collect today, and I'm not going to offer to sell any tools, because I'm going to be there every day like, okay, all you did was ask them for money. You didn't sell anything, so I'll be selling. So
hamburger.
Where he's lacking, I'll pick up that slack, which is the same thing he does for me in my business. When I'm feeling down, that's what I call my slacking in my business. So when I'm feeling down, he reminds me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So last night, I was laughing when you said the bubble bath without kids. I took a shower last night at 10:30. Best shower ever. And I was like, oh, I think that I'm going to do a free group that's not fitness focused. I'm going to, my next free program is going to be a 10-minute mindfulness group where people just take, because I don't want to do a large amount of time. I want to go live and be like, take 10 minutes to stop, but like literally stop.
Right.
Sit down, whether it be on your bed, on your couch, on your floor, at your table, wherever you are not going to be bothered, and just either close your eyes or go somewhere else mentally for 10 minutes, like set a timer, and just be with yourself. Because
a great group for you.
I really, 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 really would love to do the ultimate reset. I don't see how anywhere physically, mentally, I can't do the ultimate reset. I can't.
It's hard. It looks very hard.
You have to have your mind on it first.
I think
it's a mind. The ultimate reset is all mind.
Yeah, I think that maybe doing that will get me there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can imagine how hard it would be with a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a 38-year-old, as in Albert.
Don't tell me that.
Well, that's the one thing, like, as much as he loves, like, the programs and everything, like, he's not 100% on the nutrition. He's, like, 90%, but he'll, like, he's not 100%.
Being a chef, doesn't he find that it's almost like an innovation to him to try and find the healthy?
Yeah. And the funny thing is we'll have, like, not arguments, but we'll have disagreements about little things like beans. He's like, I'm like, beans are yellow. I can only have, a little bit. He's like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how the beans are yellow when they should be a red. And so, like, there's little, like, I'll tell him, no, that's a protein, or no, I don't understand that. That's it. Yeah. So he still has his, like, ways and, like, his thoughts of things.
I agree with him, though, because if I was to intuitively guess what a bean would go in, I would think it would go into a red.
And that's, yeah, so, like, there's little things like that. So then I always think about, if I could ever, like, have him think about the reset, that would be a miracle, because that's one thing I don't think I can get him to.
Well, that was me with Alex, and he did the entire thing with me. Tomorrow's our last day. Now, he's probably not sticking to it very well being in New Orleans right now.
Right.
Tell me, he's like, I was bad and had 1 chicken tender yesterday. And I was like, for you, that's actually good. So that's okay.
Right.
The fact that he even lasted down to the last 3 days. I thought after the first day, maybe day 2, he would have quit on me and I would have had extra to do another reset.
Yeah.
But
again, like, keep popping out.
But so he might, because I just decided I was going to do it again because all the drinking and everything when Mike and Jen were here. And, I was like, my body just needs to be cleaned out. My stomach wasn't feeling well. But
I have a hard time committing to the 3-day refresh, okay?
I can tell you, the 3-day refresh is harder than the reset because the 3-day refresh, you really don't eat a lot. The ultimate reset, you're eating more food than you think you are. It's just that it's differently. So, like, normally you have breakfast and then you have a morning snack and then you have lunch. So you're eating every 2 hours. On the reset, you have breakfast and then you don't eat again until lunch. And then you have
the reset phase.
Right, and then you have, I don't like the green stuff. I drink that every day, but it's in my shake, so I don't drink it by itself. But on the reset, you have to drink it 30 minutes before your afternoon snack, which is my shake. You don't drink it separate, so your body can absorb the nutrients better.
Gross.
Yeah, it's gross. But, all
right, ladies.
I'm going to go get my workout on. I see Christina putting her purse on. She's getting ready to
I'm in the car.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
bye, guys.